Okay, well, good afternoon. We are talking about the potential now for a significant winter storm over the upper Midwest. This would include Minnesota and Wisconsin, especially as we head into Monday and Tuesday. So, before we really get going, I want to make a couple of things clear now. Number one, there are portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin are going to get a lot of snow out of this, likely in that 6 to 10 inch range. Some areas even more snow than that. Number two, this storm is now appearing to be an ice maker over a good chunk of southern Minnesota and central Wisconsin. So, as we get into the Monday time period, especially late Sunday and into Monday morning, I'm very fearful that some ice is going to develop, especially along the I-90 corridor in southern Minnesota, on north to the Twin Cities, especially the southern Twin Cities metro, and then on east to the Eau Claire area. So that's that. And then number three, I'm taking precipitation for the most part out of the forecast on Sunday. So it looks like, for the most part, Saturday and Sunday is going to be dry. Now, there's going to be this tricky little system that moves through on Saturday morning that is going to deposit a coating to 1 inch, maybe even up to 2 inches of snow over southern, eastern Minnesota, and portions of western Wisconsin. But that certainly is not the main event, which is going to be coming in, excuse me, on Monday and Tuesday. So those are some things that I wanted to preface before we really get into the maps now for early next week. Okay, what you're looking at, we're going to solely be focusing on the European computer model now as we head into this weekend and next week. Now, first off, of course, what you're looking at is the jet stream. That is the fast-moving river of air at about 25 to 30,000 feet in our atmosphere. These are the steering winds, and we look for buckles in the jet stream, or dips or troughs is what we call them. And on Saturday morning, so tomorrow morning, you can see there's a dip, an obvious small trough over the upper Midwest. That's why I'm expecting at least a little precipitation to break out over southern and eastern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin, basically in this area, which is on the nose of a jet streak that is punching into Iowa and southern Wisconsin tomorrow morning. Okay, but now, of course, we really want to focus in on late Sunday. This is the jet stream late Sunday, and then into Monday. So here it is late Sunday, and you can see a jet streak now developing over northern Minnesota. That would place portions of central Minnesota, likely just north of the Twin Cities metro, in a snow zone as we head into the day on Sunday. Now watch what happens to this jet stream as we go into Monday. This is Monday afternoon. Look at how this massive trough develops over the western United States. This is a storm machine, a storm generating machine here over the western United States. And what it's going to do is it's going to kick disturbances northeast along this jet stream, along this jet streak, from the central Rocky Mountains on northeast into southern central Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. That'll be during the day on Monday. And then even as we go into Tuesday, now here's Tuesday morning, look at the jet stream is still pretty much sitting in place, which means we can expect storm systems to eject northeast from Colorado and Kansas northeast into the upper Midwest. So this pattern stays in place from Sunday night through Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon. So at any time during that period, during that 48-hour period, we could get rounds of snow, ice, maybe even some rain, especially in southeastern Minnesota. So though that's the timing of this is going to be extremely difficult to pin down, and we're going to need to wait for this trough to come on shore this weekend and early next week before we can really pin down the timing. But the screaming message is that it looks like at least one or two storm systems is going to come racing northeast out of the Rocky Mountains along this jet streak and then into the upper Midwest as we get into late Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And that's going to create work for everybody here in Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Now, another thing I wanted to show you, at least from the national net level, is the temperatures at 850 millibars. Now, let's go back to Sunday night. This is around midnight Sunday, and this dotted line here, that's the freezing line in the lower layers of our atmosphere. So in theory, anything north of this line would be in the form of snow. Any precipitation would be in the form of snow, and anything south of this line would be in the form of rain or ice. And you can see Sunday night that freezing line is located right over the Twin Cities metro. That's a big problem, especially for forecasters in the Twin Cities. Now let's go to Monday evening, and you can see that this freezing line has dropped a little bit southeast. So it's sagged southeast to stretch from near Eau Claire to Rochester to about Albert Lee, Minnesota. That would place the Twin Cities metro and a good chunk of southern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin in what would be a potential snow zone. And now we just need to determine if precipitation is going to ride up and along and north of this freezing boundary at 850 millibars. And as we zoom in now, and again, we're looking at the European computer model. These are surface temperatures now. And this is really interesting. This is the surface temperature on Sunday evening at around 6 p.m. You can see the Twin Cities, which is located right here. We're well above freezing in the Twin Cities metro and over much of southern Minnesota and Wisconsin. Temperatures will likely be in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees on Sunday afternoon and evening over southern Minnesota. So a thaw will be in place on Sunday. But watch what happens Sunday night as we go into the overnight hours. That freezing line at the surface drops southeast so that by Monday morning, the Twin Cities is in an area where we'll be in the 20s. All right, we won't be anywhere near the freezing line at the surface as we head into Monday morning. And that's even the case as we head into Monday afternoon. Look at this, temperatures don't get much above 20 degrees Monday afternoon. So now keep this in mind as I show you the next graphic. The next graphic is going to be the precipitation expectation from the European computer model. Now let's go back to Monday morning. It looks like right at that time, precipitation will be breaking out over Iowa and surging north towards southern Minnesota on Monday morning. And then as we get into Monday afternoon, look at how the precipitation has broken out over much of southern and central Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Now, once again, here's that freezing line. And look at where the Twin Cities metro is located, right on that freezing line as far as the temperatures are concerned at the lower levels of our atmosphere. So once again, with a surface temperature around 20 degrees in the Twin Cities on Monday, around noon. And then just above us, the surface temperatures will be above 32 degrees. That's a perfect recipe for ice. So I'm concerned that ice is going to develop on Monday morning and into Monday afternoon, right in this area here, from about Mankato, Minnesota, east and northeast to Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And that would include a good chunk of the Twin Cities metro, especially the southern Twin Cities metro. As you head further south towards Rochester and areas south of there, it may be just rain on Monday. But once again, at least one piece of energy that comes at us on Monday could easily dump ice and, yes, some snow in the Twin Cities on Monday. Okay, now one other thing to look at is take a look at then the precipitation for Monday night. We get a break. So this is going to be periods of precipitation here in Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. And then as we head into Tuesday morning, look at how the snow, and this would be all snow, starts to develop over South Dakota. And that has a trajectory, or is going to send its snow. The trajectory of it is heading east and northeast towards central Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin, so that by Tuesday afternoon, look at where the snow is expected to fall on Tuesday, near and just north of the area of snow over central portions of northern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin as we head into Tuesday. So it appears that there will be a couple of rounds of precipitation in the form of ice and snow, especially Monday, especially earlier in the day Monday, and then as we head into Tuesday, and in between we get a break. How much snow are we expecting? Well, let's just take a look at the total snow accumulation. This is from the European computer model as we get into Wednesday morning. So between Sunday and Wednesday, here's how much snow is expected from the European computer model. A good 6 to 10 inches of snow just north of the Twin Cities metro, from basically St. Cloud to Duluth over to northwestern Wisconsin where the Birkebeiner is being held. That would be in Hayward, Wisconsin. Those areas in the 6 to 10 inch snow area or range. And then in the Twin Cities metro, probably somewhere in that 3 to 6 inch range of snow if you believe the European computer model. All right, now I won't be surprised if this snow area or this axis of snow were to shift a little bit further south and perhaps be located in the northern Twin Cities metro. So that's what I'm going to be looking at over the next, 1 to 2 days of model guidance, is if this axis of heavy snow drops just a little bit further southeast, then that could definitely happen. But again, what I'm also really concerned about is ice over southern Minnesota. And in fact, the European computer model is showing ice right here near the I-90 corridor on northeast Eau Claire. And that ice area could easily move up here into the southern Twin Cities metro. So anyway, a lot happening, a lot to update you on here as we go through the weekend, and we'll be giving you updates, of course, more video updates this weekend, and you'll be hearing a lot from me probably over the next 48 to 72 hours. Take care.